Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video, welcome to my garage. In this video, we are finally going to start the engine in Wratchet. So, full disclosure, I did actually fire it up the other day. That was a couple of days ago. And what happened is since the last video when I was testing all the sensors, there was about a week where I was like purging the fuel system. There was a couple of leaks that I had to... Can you move over a little bit? There you go. There was a couple of leaks in the fuel system that I had to take care of, and I had to do a little bit of wiring. There was a couple things that I had to take care of, and I also had to do a bunch of research on the I also had to do a bunch of research just on the ECU. So to make a long story short, I ran it for about 30 seconds the other day. I did that, I think, twice. But this is going to be the first time where I let it run for an extended period of time, enough for it to get up to temperature so that I can make sure that the cooling system's working and the fans turn on and all that stuff. And I actually want to sit in Wratchet and actually rev it up a little bit and, you know, see how the throttle feels, things like that. But more importantly, I want to use the PC logging so that I can log the information as the engine's running. And with the Infinity ECU, I can do overlays. I can do video overlays with the information. So what I want to do is I want to start the engine up, and then I want to do video overlays so that as the engine's running, you guys on the screen can see, you know, the oil pressure, the fuel pressure, the throttle position, the RPM, coolant temperatures, stuff like that. I think that'll be kind of cool, and I want a video where I can figure out how to do that or learn how to do that, how to set that up. And I think this will be a really good video to do that, and first video to get a nice, good extended run on the engine. So let me set the cameras up and set my laptop up so that it can start logging and all that, and hopefully we'll fire it up and get some video overlays going. Alright, so I'll have my laptop set up here logging, and I do have a kind of like a makeshift fume extractor. This runs up to an exhaust fan that's on the loft that then pumps it up out the garage. So this will probably suck most of it out, but I guarantee you some of it's going to escape. So I'll run it in here for a little while, but I obviously can't run it for an extended period of time in here because it's really going to stink. All right, everything's set up, ready to go. Ignition's on, fuel pump is ready to go. Let's fire it up. This is it's very nerve-wracking. It's so weird. Yes. Yes. Fire it right up. I'm not gonna hit the throttle yet. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit first. See, it's logging. Starting right there, it's logging. So we're warming up a little bit. So I'm gonna give a little bit of throttle. So far, so good. I haven't done anything to throttle curve yet, so right now, as soon as I hit the throttle, it starts taking off immediately. I'm sure I'll add a little bit of a curve in there so it's not so aggressive. But once I get past just a couple percent, then it takes off pretty good. So apparently it has a rev limiter set to 2,000 RPM. Because if I step on the gas, it goes up to 2,000 and then the ignition cuts out. But like I said, I haven't adjusted anything in the ECU yet. But things look pretty good. If you look at the lambda or the air fuel ratio, it should be around 0.9, which is a little bit rich. And it's right around, looks like 0.89. Water temp starting to come up a little bit. My first fan should kick on at, I think, 150. You can see the fuel pressure is being modulated by the manifold absolute pressure. So as the manifold pressure goes down, the fuel pump will go down as well. You can see all that stuff working together. Whenever I step on the throttle and I pull more of a vacuum, you see the fuel pressure come down a little bit. Oil pressure looks pretty good. It's around 60. Remember, this engine has 180,000 miles, so the fact that it's got around 60 psi oil pressure, I'm good with that. Now it looks like my water pressure has reached 150, and it says that one of my fans is on, so I'm going to hop out and actually check that out. That's pretty good. It's starting to get a little obnoxious in here fumes wise, and I don't know how loud this is to my wife either. I'm trying to watch to see what the coolant does. My radiator clearly is not cooling very well. If it's struggling to cool the engine at idle on a cool fall day, it's obviously not going to be up to the task in the summer. So I'm probably going to have to do something better than that. But either way, I'm going to shut it down for now. Okay, so that was the first extensive run. I ran it up to about 167, and let me just say, it feels good. Okay, it ran really well, actually. It's drivable at this point. Aside from the 2,000 RPM rev limiter, I need to find out how I can turn that up some. But even without making any changes to it, I could drive it right now. And that has changed something on Wratchet here. The next thing I wanted to focus on was the fiberglass one-piece front end. I have to get that done. That's been a big holdup of mine because that's going to be such a big project. I've been putting it off a little bit. I wanted to do it during the summer because it's a lot easier doing fiberglass in warm weather, but that ship has probably sailed. But either way, I can do it in the cold weather. I just have to use heat lamps and all that. But now I have to do the brakes, the clutch, and I have to finish the rear axles. I made the one rear axle, but I have to make the other one because at this point, now that I know it runs, I have got to get it out and do a little test drive. Not even anything serious, but really, I need to get it out and do a little bit of a drive. And then at that point, really, I can do the fiberglass one-piece front end, and that's kind of essentially the last piece, at least to the point where I can then tear it down and paint the chassis and then do the final assembly. So that's really, really exciting. And the fact that this engine has now started up and run, and I know that it runs, and it's only going to run better as I tweak a couple things in the ECU. The only real problem right now is my cooling system, which a lot of you probably figured that was going to happen. This cooling system, I'm going to have to make some changes. I don't know if I'll put a different radiator in there or try to make the fans pullers or something. It's not an emergency right now, but it's clearly not up to the task. But the fact that the engine started, that answers so many questions for me. First of all, remember this engine's from the junkyard, and although the way I picked it, you know, it has 183,000 miles, but I was pretty sure it was operational when the vehicle got in the accident. But now that I've run it, it sounds good. There's no knocks. There's no like extreme valve train noise. It's got good oil pressure. It doesn't have the greatest compression in the world, but it works for now. It works. It's actually pretty good. Doesn't seem to leak any oil. Doesn't seem to leak any coolant. So now that I've started it up, it answers all of those questions. Now that I've started it up, I know that I've got all of the ECU wiring correct. I couldn't really test the injectors or the coil packs, so I didn't know if that stuff was correct or not, but now that I've fired it up, I know that it is. So it answers a lot of questions. Takes a lot of stress off of me now that the engine has fired up and actually runs pretty good. It also feels good because this is the first standalone ECU I've ever installed. So the fact that it's already wired up and operating pretty good, even just with the base setup, you know, it just feels good. It makes me feel very proud or accomplished or whatever you want to call it. So it's really exciting that it is now up and running. Like, that is really cool. Anyways, I'm going to go inside now and take this clip and I'm going to watch some videos and try to figure out how to do the overlays and then try to edit all this into something that is fun and exciting for you guys to watch. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it's helping you guys with whatever you're working on or just giving you some temporary entertainment from the day. And I hope I see you on the next video. Take care.